All right， 各位现场的朋友们，让我听到你们热情的尖叫声！耶！新年快乐！先来欢迎壮壮以及 Formosa Sexy， 相当应景的服装，还有尤尼兽以及 Richard 一起来陪伴各位。今天呢非常重要的比赛，也感谢所有梦想家人们，先祝各位新年快乐，兔年行大运！欢迎各位回家。 来到了我们最熟悉的主场，迎接年后的首战。新的一年，当然新的气象。经过了我们短暂的假期的调整，努力的修正，球队的伙伴们面对接下来的每一场比赛，希望你们都可以持续的，在低潮的时候能感谢你们不断的为梦想家来应援，持续给我们最可以的加油声。相信呢可以的力量，相信场上的每一个人，相信队友。接下来每一场。 我们可以听到你们最大声的加油声，来支援我们声音的火力。听一下，经过了年假的休息，让你们展现热情的时候，明天还有一天放假。今天大声的把声音先来，让我们听到，让我们在休息区的球员们听到我们家人们的声音。一样，梦想家加油！最大声的3声，来一下，梦想家！ 梦想家，加油！梦想家，耶！掌声鼓励一下，谢谢你们持续延续这一股力量。待会重要的比赛马上就要开始，希望我们今天拿下重要的胜利。谢谢女孩们，谢谢尤尼兽，谢谢 Richard， 谢谢壮壮。 福尔摩沙台新梦想家，感谢各位球迷朋友热烈支持，也谢谢一直以来大力支持台湾篮球、支持梦想家的合作伙伴。先来花一点时间来把掌声送给以下的各个单位以及我们的贵宾。首先把掌声送给台新银行总经理暨台新梦想家的荣誉领队尚瑞强总经理，谢谢再次来到现场，提供我们这个精神的后盾以及大声的帮我们加油。谢谢以下的指导单位：教育部体育署、台中市政府。 台中运动局、彰化县政府、中华民国篮球协会，谢谢支持台新梦想家的赞助伙伴，感谢最挺篮球的好伙伴台新银行、台新人寿、台新证券、海硕集团，值得您信赖的国际海空运物流公司。 台旭近60年的肉品专家，联聚建设好还要更好，联聚建设。那么 Ship 亚太区最大潮流交易平台，心想科技全球货运的代理整合性资讯平台，以 VO6 电动车补电服务，补电超轻松。Call of Duty Warzone 2.0， 决胜时刻现代战役2.0。谢谢 UP 直播全世界，让全世界看见你的美。 进发家祖传绿豆沙，曼黛玛莲穿的保养品，享受自信的内在美学。朝日堂烧肉与鸳鸯锅煮的天堂，风格美学诊所 Converse， 百年美国经典品牌，秀传医疗体系引领国际医疗专业。逢阿寡一样，少一点想要，多一样美好。最后感谢台北福华大饭店，真诚福华心，服务最用心。再一次把掌声送给他们，作为梦想家的强力后队，让我们能够延续下去，持续把目光放在场中。 欢迎全联盟 Plus League 最火辣、最佳啦啦队 Formosa Sexy 以及由你手 Richard 带来精彩的开场 ，Go！
恰恰的脚步，恰恰的舞步，与你一起突突突。恰恰的脚步，恰恰的舞步，与你一起突突突。 猜这首歌啦，资讯满堂一起的嘻嘻哈哈，兔年年纪大，活力四射爆炸。今夏，你刚好也在唱着这首歌呀，夫妻安康一起的过新年吧，兔年最佳，百花齐齐发芽。梦不相声，大地会顺，其乐融融呀。 舞恰恰的舞动，与你一起跳跳。谢谢你让我过个傻傻的舞步，热烈欢迎着我们的 Lucky Two。祝大家新年快乐！
耶！掌声鼓励一下，谢谢 Formosa Sexy 女孩们以及尤尼手还有 Richard。要来欢迎新竹街口工程师球员进场。2号江广谦，5号宋宇轩，7号曾博玉，9号田浩，12号李佳瑞，21号伊波卡，23号吕其敏，24号郭少杰，先发4号高国豪，8号朱云豪，11号肖顺义 ，Number 13 13号 班尼特 ，Number 31 30号威廉阿提诺，新竹街口工程师篮球队总教练林冠伦，助理教练沈星汉、陈哲宇、Q Martin、黄胜富。福尔摩沙泰西梦想家秉持铁血的斗志，打造强悍的战场。梦想家人们，我们汇聚能量，携手一同并肩作战。我们不怕，持续再战，可以吗 ？Come on, let's welcome 福尔摩沙泰新 Dreamer。我们可以，我们一定可以！相信胜利会属于场上最强悍的我们，相信身旁的战友，更相信在座的每一位家人。各位梦想家人们，准备好了吗？双手声音切给我们 ，Let's go, Dreamer! Are you ready?Number 0 号梦想家的板凳暴徒陈正杰 ，Number 7号体能情报的活动篮板板送人吕耀宗 ，Number 8号来自彰化的光速4分卫绿色闪电王成元。Number 11 10号本土单场最高分纪录保持者秒速跑者林昕奇 Number 14 14号全场的压迫专家28公尺大作国民前夫吴永胜梦 梦想后场的强力大手，防守很强。Number 18 18号杨胜彦。26 26号梦想家的最后一道防线，台湾魔术林登伟。三分球的代名词，出手就准备命中。Number 13 30号吴松伟。And now starting 5先发。Number 3 3号后场指挥官，梦想推进器吴家俊。Number 28 28号全能射手，梦想家后场魔术师阿良卢冠良。Number 15 15号进攻者的噩梦，梦想防守线 Sir Dominic Pointer。Number 88 88号禁区铁臂，梦想护盾周国成。Number 34 34号来自威斯康星的地图防守兵器，火锅制造机 Fernando Band。佛摩萨台区梦想家总教练赖柏林 ，Assistant Coach 助理教练 Coach Thomas。助理教练陈世念、刘文和，球员发展总监田磊，总经理韩俊凯，双方球员场中握手致意，进行最后的热身时间。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Happy Year of the Rabbit, 新年快乐，兔年大吉. The Plus League will get things started again in Taichung, home of the Formosa Taishin Dreamers, taking on the Hsinchu Lioneers. I'm Ryan Chen on the English broadcast, joined by former coach Ben Metcalf.
Ryan, Happy New Year. Great to be back for a new year of P.LEAGUE action.
That's right. It's a Plus League doubleheader. We have our contest here, and in the evening will be the Pilots taking on the Braves in Hefeng Gymnasium. There's the current standings. Before we left for our break, there was a couple of changes from the Taoyuan Puyuan Pilots, now sitting on top with their 11-game winning streak, followed by the new Taipei Kings, and the Lioneers leapfrog the Taipei Full-On Braves for third place. The last place Steelers missed out on the entire weekend of games due to COVID-19 infections, but they got a major boost during the Lunar New Year break with the announcement of a certain number 7, Jeremy Lin, joining the team. Coach, you gotta have any scouting report on that guy?
He's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think that's what worries everybody, including Coach Greg right there. But again, today, talking about the Lioneers and Dreamers.
On the Mandarin broadcast, on the left is Kyle, 左崇凯 and Eddie. 张耀宗，球迷朋友们，你们找到了英文转播，要看中文转播，听宗凯跟耀宗的讲评，当然按照官方的中文连结。Actually, I've not had a commentator give me the scouting report on 左崇凯 and his playing days.
Shooter.
Okay.
I was able to coach him for 3 or 4 years, won a couple championships with him. Again, knockdown shooter, bigger guard who couldn't guard.
You know, Coach, I think the list of players you didn't win a championship with is probably shorter than the ones you have.
I was very fortunate with the players I was able to coach, and yeah, won a championship or 2 or 3 or yeah.
Here in Taichung, it's the Dreamers 认真够好年 to bring in the New Year's, but they want to turn their fortunes around with this shooting chart. They're on screen where they average the least amount of points in the Plus League, the least assists. Their 2 points and 3-point shooting percentage are also low. So, Coach, sometimes to me shooting charts might be a little misleading as they're kind of running the offense the same, but shooting overall has gone down. for the Dreamers.
Yeah, and I think you can see how they played over the couple years, just emphasizing anything in the paint and behind the three-point lane. So you see the majority of the shots are coming from long distance, and this year that percentage just hasn't been there. We see a couple 20% from the top of the key in that left wing, and that's one of the reasons they've really struggled on the offensive end of the floor this year.
And I will say, it's not from a lack of trying. The Dreamers have rotated import. They've tried out different big men in their lineups. And of course, most importantly, besides Aji, I don't think you can really point out a guard who's also having a lot of success with volume scoring.
And we see Aji right there, probably one of the more consistent Dreamers this season. But like you said, that consistency just hasn't been here over the first half of the season. The plays have really stayed the same over the past few years. Just a lot of staggered for shooters playing out of that. And again, this year, without that outside threat being there, they've really struggled to score on the offensive side, especially with players like Doug Creighton being out for a while.
Defensively, they do have some stalwarts. Sir Dominic Pointer, 2.9 blocks per game, is #1 in the league. #2, last year's block leader, Brandon Gilbeck. But
第一个首要要件就是，我还是可以球员很大的信心，在我们休息完就是年假完之后的练球，其实还是不断的鼓励每一个球员，就是如果场上有空档，就是大胆的出手。那其实，在训练上呢，我们也是大量的去做一些投篮的训练，跟要求他们确实将每个位置该跑到的位置去跑到，因为来告知他们，就是因为这样子的话，可以增加你出手的空档。那其实你空档越大，你出手的命中率，你的信心就会越大，对不对？当然是在主场嘛，就感觉一段时间没在主场打比赛了。其实大家，包含我自己，其实都还蛮兴奋的，对啊。然后当然就是希望开春的第一场可以来一个大红啊，对，开门红，对对对。
Assuming the role of head coach after Kyle Julius departed with the team, Eric sharing that they did a lot of film study and will be making more adjustments as the break kind of allows them to.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Ryan. It's tough to take over as an assistant, regardless whether it's off season, but during the middle of the season, really tough to try and make any changes, especially with the same roster. Fortunately, had a little bit of time over the Chinese New Year break to make some adjustments.
And now on screen is the difference of a fellow Canadian best friend, Sim Bular on the left, leading the Lioneers to a rather slow 94.4 pace or possessions per game. The usage rate is also a little bit lower than now. Anthony Bennett is kind of one of the Lioneers mainstays, pushing that pace up to almost 100 per game, scoring more of the Lioneers points, and of course, the way that Bennett can bring the ball up the floor sometimes, and the range he has will also kind of up the amount of attempts that the imports for the Lioneers take.
Yeah, and we mentioned the Dreamers making a lot of changes. The Lioneers probably made the biggest change of their team's history and just getting rid of Sim. They'd obviously had some great success, but to be completely honest, some of these new imports probably fit these younger Lioneers a little bit better. And after a tough period, we've seen them really start to thrive a little bit.
Doing how for the Lioneers.
大家都5个人都可以跑起来打，就很类似打跑轰那种感觉的时候，就回合数拉高，就算成功率没有那么高，但回合数拉高，就是得的分数也不见得会比较少这样。我觉得大家对自己在场上应该要做什么都更清楚，比起就是阵容刚做改变的时候，到后面再连胜，其实大家的想法都改变蛮多，就是更勇敢去承担一些进攻的责任。那攻守上的体系，我觉得伦哥调整的蛮快的，就是让大家都很明确的知道自己应该要做什么，对啊，然后大家开心打球啊，我觉得这还是最重要的。
Doing how last year's first overall pick and having an improved season with the Lioneers after recovering from his wrist injury, saying that Coach Greg and the staff have changed up the defensive scheme really quickly, but offensively, everyone will assume a little bit more responsibility. Lee Quinley is the crew chief for tonight's staff. And for the starting five, it's Oscar, Gao Guohao, Zhu Yinghao, number 11, Xiao Sui, Bennett, and William Martino. And for the Dreamers, Hayden Wu Jiazhong is back in there after missing a couple games next to Wu Guanliang, Pointer, Jerry Zoboton, and Brendan Gilbeck.
Yeah, so we see with the new coach taking over, we've seen Jerry starts to get a little bit more playing time, as these Dreamers have really struggled on the defensive rebounding area. And he played with some limited success over those last 2 games before the New Year break. And, I'm sure they spent a lot of time just trying to get him more integrated into what they're doing now.
A few extra words from some of the other fellow teammates and staff members with the Dreamers. Lu Guanliang, Ryan, first 7 games off the bench, only 8 points, but then in 8 starts since, averaging 8 points per game on 27 minutes played, helping the Dreamers a little bit with their scoring. And he and Zoboten, coming over from Yulong Dinos, have started the last 2 games together. They'll be in their new Taishin Lunar New Year's red jerseys, and the Lioneers in their white kit.
Again, talking about those 2 players coming over from a team that they've been with for 7 or 8 years, having a little bit of trouble adjusting to the Dreamer system in this new season, but as the season has gone along, a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more success.
There's a tip, and the Lioneers will start it off. So far in the season, they've matched up 3 times. The Lioneers have won all 3 in Hsinchu. With the early jumper, but also off the back iron.
Again, just lots of opportunities for Sunyi with his defender just sagging in the paint.
Lioneers showing off a 3-2 zone. Pointer open in the corner. His attempt is short. And there's Zoboten with an offensive rebound. An opportunity for Jerry. He tries from 3 and he hits.
And again, second chance points, first possession, a couple 3-pointers. Like we said, they haven't been shy about getting them up, and if they start to make them, they can change the second half of the season.
Quick answer, yes. Zoboten did hit the very first 3-point shot that the Dreamers took against the Pilots. Went cold after that. Gilbeck in the middle with 4 guarding him. Foul by Lu Guanliang as Zhu Yunhao or Xiaolie was making a move.
Yeah, you can see right here, trying to get it up before the shot clock expires, no pressure. Jerry able to put down the first 3 of the game.
Jocelyn and Martino on the same side. Up to Oscar with 1 second left. There's a whistle. And the referees will say sideline out of bounds.
Yeah, but as you can see there, Pointer really just playing center field. He's a strong safety back there, not guarding his man at all, helping into the post, helping more in the pick and roll. That's something where Sunyi's going to have to start cutting off the ball to find some opportunities and open up the space a little bit.
Martino at the high post, trying to step back, and that's well short. Jocelyn put in a good effort, and he's trying to make an argument. The Lioneers won't opt the challenge. .3-3 the score in the early going. Now from the left corner, Lu Guanliang, too strong, and right away Zoboten following it up with a putback 2.
And that's something that these Lioneers are going to have to be aware of. When that 3-2 zone, that big gets pulled out, really nobody there to help on the rebounding. It's happened twice already with that corner 3. This time Jerry, again, having a nice contribution with the weak side rebound, putback, and 1 opportunity.
But leaves it well short on the free throw. Bennett will try a chance from outside, but no, Oscar tracks it down. The Dreamers do play at a faster pace at home. Oscar swirls it out. Pointer picks up the dribble. Back to Jerry, another late clock situation. Three is on the way, another one.
Oh, somebody's enjoying this year of the Rapids. Jerry with a hot start.
All of the 8 Dreamers points belong to number 88. Oscar and Bennett in the pick and roll. Now Artino squeezed for space, tries the left hand, he got it.
Yeah, nice job spinning away from the dig from Pointer, able to put in that baby hook.
From the right corner this time, Luke down, joins in on the action.
You see, if you get those corner shooters there in transition, the bigs aren't going to be able to make it back to cover them. Wide open three-pointers.
Oscar screening, now down to Artino, but a couple hands get on it.
And that's what we're talking about. That time Pointer going for the steal. Sunny with a nice cut, just not able to get the ball to him.
So Zoboton opting to up the difficulty.
His teammates keep throwing the ball to him with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. No fault of his own.
Kind of curious how the Lioneers opting with a 3-2 zone, leaving those corners open. Zoboton tries, and there's an air ball.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams as Sunny leaks out.
Oscar finished that one up.
We've seen a couple offensive rebounds by Oscar in the last couple possessions. That's something that I'm sure the Dreamers coaching staff isn't happy about.
A foul call as Hayden was going to the basket.
Like I said, a lot of these teams go in zone, not really looking to go 2-3 zone. So those 1-2-2 zones, putting your bigger defender at the top. Again, Sunny, a long defender, somebody who can affect the sight and passing lanes. But again, like you said, if you're going to push the ball up and expect your bigs to cover those corners, it's going to be challenging.
Hayden makes the first free throw. As mentioned, he missed a couple games due to a little bit of an illness. He's averaging 4.5 points per game in his first year with the Dreamers. Artino and Bennett on the side. And Bennett gets it to go.
And that's something where Jerry's let him get a couple three-pointers off right in his face.
Quickly the other way. It's another offensive rebounding opportunity. Brandon Gilbeck with a two-handed slam.
Again, in transition, bigs trying to cover the three-pointers, offensive rebound opportunities.
The Dreamers are doing a pretty good job pushing the pace when they can. Xiaosui, Artino to Oscar on the handoff. The referee whistles, and it looks like we'll have an override with the foul call.
Fortunate there for the Dreamers, is able to waste just enough time before.
Well, that's our first break in the action, and thank you for joining our broadcast. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the broadcast. Richard Life and the Unicorn doing a line dance performance. Do you think they get paid extra to be the mascot and the line dancer?
Hey, that line dancing is not easy to do. I would expect a little extra Lunar New Year bonus in my hongbao.
You can keep your red envelopes, but liking the stream is the present that you could gift us in the Plus League. 14-10 is the score as we come out of our first break. And getting a look at the replay where the referees deemed the shot clock violation and no foul, no basket.
Right call down there again. Nice catch on the mismatch, just not be able to get it up in time.
The Dreamers don't make any substitutions, and neither did the Lioneers, as we had a pretty fast pace going.
Yeah, I'm not used to this with the Dreamers Lioneers game, right? Usually it's a foul fest and a very slow-paced game.
The body hit the floor as Joe is the recipient of an assist.
Yeah, Dreamers is doing a good job of taking one of the bigs out of the play and finding space there on the baseline. Nice little dump pass there for the layup.
Hall picked up the dribble out to AB. He'll pull up early from three and get nothing but net, but on the bottom side.
Yeah, I see these Dreamers doing a good job just clogging the paint. Pointer not really guarding anybody, as we see that nice assist off the sneaky screen there by Gilbeck. But again, with Pointer not having to guard anybody, really tough for the Lioneers to get anywhere close to the basket.
Gilbeck screens, leaving Ryan open. He pumps and knocks down another three.
I'm just not sure if they're switching or staying with their own. Artino expecting the defender to get back. As Coach Greg explaining to him what their defensive strategy is, leading to that timeout.
In less than a minute, the Lioneers opting for a timeout as there indeed was a defensive mix-up.
Again, Artino going with that sim bowler defense, expecting to take the roll man and the perimeter defender to get out to his own. But again, we talked about the two players who came over this year to the Dreamers struggling a little bit over the first half of the season. We've seen them have extended opportunities as far as minutes and opportunity-wise here in the past few games, and definitely taking advantage of it so far.
Now, before we get back to the action, the Dreamers did announce they have a new import. İlkan Kalaman, a 32-year-old Turkish player, Turkish national, last played with Manzanilla in the Turkish league, and has the NBA draft title to his resume, but has never made it over to the States. In fact, played in France for a little bit. So another power forward, big man, and they pointed out pregame with some mobility to kind of help stir up the Dreamers' paint.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Dreamers are very certain of what their issues were over the first half of the season. And from the first 6 minutes of this first quarter, it's obvious that they've spent a lot of time working on it over the Chinese New Year. I'm sure the management team looked at bringing in an import to kind of plug some of those holes. So again, new year, new me, new year, new Dreamers so far.
Again, no personnel changes from the Lioneers. They only play this afternoon and again on Tuesday. A little bit more rest than the Dreamers, who will play today and tomorrow in a classic Plus League weekend homestand. With a lot of pressure defense provided by Ryan. Now swinging from mid-range on the right side.
And those are the shots he's going to have to hit to loosen up the defense. That play, trying to get the ball into Bennett with the backside help, no opportunity there, but Xiao Sun-Yi with the jumper.
So Ryan on the catch and shoot. That's three for him. Now Tuihan will try close to center field, and it's rebounded by Pointer. He's going to start the Dreamers' attack. Liang can't make it 4, but there's a foul.
And that's where that first pick and roll three-pointer that went in got Ryan on a roll. Hit the second one here off that little pin down ATO. And then another opportunity in transition. Tough closeout, easy call for the ref. 3 free throws.
Last year, 8 Dreamers had individual games of 4+ three-pointers made. That was 19 individual performances so far this year. 6 players, but only 8 times. They have a very positive record last season at 10-3 whenever that happened. And so far, small sample size, but they are only 3-2 in such games.
It's a small sample size, but back Ryan halfway through the season. Obviously, they recognized some things needed to change. And again, great starts so far through the first quarter.
Liang already with 12 points on his afternoon. His season high, 17 points, came against the Pilots in Taoyuan.
Again, with Sunny getting taken out here for the Lioneers, the Dreamers putting Pointer on Chen, probably using the same strategy, just having him play a free safety there on the back line of the defense.
Liang had a left calf injury that kept him out for a few weeks. As there's a whistle on the corner here. Artino going to the basket.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. Already pushed him behind the basket with the help coming from Gilbeck. No reason for Derek to get that left hand and push him there. His teammate was already there as he just communicated to him. But Artino at the line, which has been a bit of an adventure this season.
Number 31, William Artino, too strong with the first free throw. Talk about taking over for Simbular in some essence. William Artino, a sub-500 free throw shooter. As you see, Anthony Bennett trying to have some free throw lane hijinks.
Yeah, he's getting ready for those conference championship games of the NFL tomorrow. Getting way down in his stance, getting Derek off balance.
Substitution was to get number 24 Guo Shaojie in as the Lioneers now in a man defense. Pointer fading away, no good with that jumper, but it's Gilbeck. Now with a very difficult shot, it's in.
First shot just wasn't tough enough. Increased the degree of difficulty, the 2-pointer for Pointer.
More Derek trying to get coverage on Artino. The whistle from the slot side.
Again, we see Pointer, good job creating contact, jumping away, and able to get that fadeaway going, baseline.
Fourth, a team foul as Oscar pops through and nice feed to Artino.
Yeah, you said it, just nice little screen to free him up, and then nice little dump pass there in the paint to get an easy 2 for Artino.
Jeff Wu is checked into the game. He gives it up. Achi through Derek, out of bounds.
Yeah, you can see Derek talking to Jeff, telling him which way to go. Less than optimal spacing on that play leading to that Dreamers time turnover.
Tianhao does have one of the better assist-to-turnover ratios with the Lioneers, 1.85. Artino flips it over. Derek with the left hand.
Yeah, but again, we're swinging out of the game. Pointer not able to freelance quite as much. Easy paint looks there.
Aji will take his first shot. It's no good. And Gilbeck right there to pick up his teammate and pick up an extra free throw.
And again, offensive rebounding for the Dreamers. Again, Lioneers, Oscar, great rebounder. Some of these guards are going to have to come in and help out these bigs because the Dreamers are just beating them up on the offensive glass.
The free throws coming up for BG, or Big B. He's got a lot of nicknames on the team. Completes the three-point play. Gilbeck does lead the Dreamers in points per game at 17.7. Hall in the mid-range, but it's deflected. So Bennett will hang on to it. Can't get the finish. Quickly down the floor, it's the Dreamers. Aji to Jeff over Bennett for the score.
And just pushing the pace. Obviously got a little bit of rest over the Lunar New Year break. Everything in transition easy for these Dreamers.
And on the other side, it's Gilbeck who's called for the foul.
Again, just a nice little scoop pass off the dribble. And a nice lefty floater finish off the glass. As we see Artino having a conversation on the way back. Good transition defense.
Artino go to the line again. Definitely a spot where the Dreamers hope to get more offense from. The second season is not quite picking up like they'd hope. Right now with a sub 400 true shooting percentage.
We heard the coaching staff pregame saying that they spent a lot of time just working on shooting over the break. Again, we'll see how that works out for Jeff.
You have any tips for coaches and staffs out there for how to improve your team shooting? Because I assume everybody shoots in practice, but sometimes shooting practice could be different and more quality. Derek will try and he rails it.
Yeah, this one, I don't want to say anything. I just want to ask the Dreamers coaching staff, because whatever they've done over the past 10 days has worked.
They've already built up 35 points in the first quarter. Artino, nice spin and finish.
Yeah, again, nice spin away from the dig in from Pointer. Able to get a nice angle for that drop step.
Pointer and Jerry working in the pick and roll, but nothing opens up. And Oscar jumps in front of that one. One man to beat. It's Aji, and another lefty will score the layup.
Yeah, just great anticipation. We saw some nice ball pressure, forcing a tough pass cross court. Oscar doing what he does best, jump in that passing lane, and then nice finish in transition.
Oscar is slowly creeping into that MVP territory, MVP conversation, as in his third season, he's now even assumed the role of team captain now.
And honestly, that's where he should be. I think he's got a lot of pressure on him, coming from his background, coming from the States. I hear that he's got a nice contract, which he gets reminded of seemingly every day online. And again, put that, not just pressure, but put that responsibility on him. With Sim gone, the ball's going to be in his hands a lot more. He's going to have to spark this team offensively and defensively. And again, we've seen the Dreamers work their way up in the standings, now in third place. Something that Oscar's done a good job with.
On the road, Oscar's averaging only 10.6 points and 1.2 assist-to-turnover ratio, as compared to at home, where you know he's a Lioneers home crowd pleaser. 15.5 points per game, but 1.7 assist-to-turnover ratio. You'd think that certainly you'd like to hope for the Lioneers that he can bring that efficiency on the road as well to boost the team.
Yeah, a lot of that's just experience. Oscar, while he may be the captain, he's still a younger player. A lot of the younger players enjoy playing more at home in front of that home crowd. I think when you talk to some of the vets, they love playing on the road, kind of shutting up that road crowd. And that's something that they relish. So definitely room for improvement from Oscar, but as we've seen today, he's turning into an MVP candidate.
They head back out on the floor. Lioneers in two-guard set, Oscar and Tian Hong. Whereas the Dreamers have Derek in at center. Continuation offense, skip over to Pointer. Lioneers do a pretty good job covering it up. Till it's Derek's three-point try. No. Ball bounce out of bounds for the Lioneers.
Yeah, and that's where we've seen the Dreamers run similar sets over the past few years. Eric setting a couple ball screens, setting a pin down, swinging the ball. Again, the opportunities are there. They're just not able to make the shots.
Over to Artino on the left block. The double comes. And Pointer does a good job to recover, but Formosa finishes at the hoop.
Again, with Pointer just sitting in the lane, those opportunities are going to be there for the fours of the Lioneers.
And then a foul the other way. The Lioneers have quickly racked up their team fouls.
But again, as we see, Salja with a nice drive, nice finish. But the issue is Pointer's right there on the baseline, inbounding the ball, and he's able to put pressure on the defense in transition. Just lazy transition defense from the Lioneers. Dreamers once again getting easy opportunities from the line.
Bennett will head to the bench a lot later than his typical rest at home. They usually like to take him out with 4 or 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Ryan, with them not having another game for a few days, with the score being what it is, after being off for a few days before, obviously a little more flexibility for this Lioneers lineup today.
Dreamers are going to go small now. Taking Derek out for Ryan Luguanliang, and Dobotan is left to guard Artino with Pointer, leaving Evan wide open. They cover it up and a block shot leading to transition opportunity for the Dreamers.
The exact same defensive play that time. Pointer be able to get the stop.
Luguanliang tried the other side, but it's going to be a miss and then a foul the other way.
Just not aware of the team being in the bonus, sending Artino to the line. But again, Pointer, nice job closing out to a non-shooter, getting the block, and again, just talked about it before, getting those hands down there, giving the refs an opportunity to make that call, sending Artino to the line for 2.
For Artino, he is 3 for 5 on the afternoon. Monty with 11 points. Almost had his own board.
Maybe it was a strategic foul. Going for that 2 for 1, right?
I see. There's about a 2.5 second shot clock to a first quarter clock difference. A little stagger screen as Jeff Wu will try to pull up. No. Achi, look what I found, but he leaves it short the first time, the second time, and I guess we all need to still work on our volleyball sets here.
A lot of mid-air putbacks, not able to go down, but overall great quarter for the Dreamers.
They lead things 37-25 as we're done with 1 quarter. You're watching Plus League Basketball.
把声音借给我们的优尼社，可不可以？
来，球迷们，让我听到你们的欢呼声！
耶！
再一次，
优尼社
来了，最大声的那一区，优尼社就会把礼物发过去。
新年快乐！
没错，跟我们的梦想家人们说声新年快乐！
好的，中间的家人朋友，
来了，2楼的朋友
，Let's go， 加油！来一个，
右边的朋友。 举起你们的双手，让我们看一下你们多想要礼物。哎，漂亮！
还有最后几个。
还右边的朋友还有一个。
再2个，双手举起来。
新年快乐！
耶！加码最后一个。
加码！来啊，让我们听一下大家的声音，好不好？
继续往我们的梦想家加油！
新年快乐！
Later tonight, it's the Taoyuan Pilots trying to get their first ever win at Heping Gymnasium against the Taipei Fubon Braves. A couple of MVP candidates in Justin Lu Junxiang and Jack Zhen Xiangjun there on screen.
Talk about the reigning champions and the current champions in the standings. And the Pilots obviously with a nice end to that first half of the year, and the Braves looking to start out a little bit differently in the second half of the year.
So I did the math, Coach. 62 points in that first quarter is indeed the high between these two teams in the third season, as we see, what was that, 3-4 now putbacks that the Dreamers missed out on. That's what lowers your shooting percentage in your shooting charts.
Yeah, they're going for those offensive rebounds, padding the stats. Really good. Great start for the Dreamers so far.
Their previous high was 56 combined points in game 36. Of course, in Hsinchu. They've only played in Hsinchu so far this season. Gilbeck will try the right hand over Anthony Bennett.
We've just seen him being so consistent over the first half of the season. Getting to that left shoulder, putting it over the extended hands of the defense.
Iboka and Xiaohei Zhenbori in there for the first time today as an easy block shot for Zhou Bochen.
Yeah, that was like a volleyball set there from Tianhao, just throwing it up there, letting Jerry throw it right into the stands. Didn't even get out of his hands.
And Bennett will try from the corner, overshoots it.
Yeah, much better closeout from Jerry that time.
To the other side, Guan Liang rails another three.
But again, not even 5 seconds getting off the shot clock. These Dreamers doing a great job pushing the pace so far today.
The only player better than Tianhao assist turnover ratio for the Lioneers is indeed Xiaohei at 1.88. And there's a bank three by Guo Shaojie.
I thought the banks were closed over this Lunar New Year break, Ryan.
And I don't think it's really nice to do it on the Taishin sponsorship, but the Lioneers do have Jieko Pay. Exactly. So I don't know. Going with more modern times as Aji can't get the shot off as there's an illegal screen there.
Yeah, nice read there. Swinging it to the weak side, just a little too much movement there from Jerry as far as the refs were concerned.
The foul bringing up the floor. And that's two quick ones for the Dreamers.
So again, getting that offhand in there, dancing a little bit with the ball handler, it's going to get you every time.
Iboka sets the screen and rolls. He picks it up and can't get the finish. It bounces out.
Yeah, fortunate as that weak side was occupied. Nobody there to help out on the roll. Just a missed layup.
Lioneers recover. And now leave Ryan open. He leaves it short. Gilbeck. This is the close one.
Another offensive rebound.
Joker did the basket, easy block for Gilbeck. Achi in a wide 2-on-1 decides to pull up, but clanks it.
That's modern basketball, Ryan. 3-pointers in transition.
So you told me. The Dreamers already with 8 offensive boards. Achi giving room for Tianhao. Fakes the shot, then swishes it.
Yeah, we saw it on that last possession. Jerry not wanting to leave Bennett. That time is a similar situation. Gilbeck not wanting to leave, going way under. Lioneers able to hit the three.
Have I mentioned that both Aji and Tianhao are from the county of Nantou here in Taiwan?
Not today yet.
Well, Guo Shaojie is the third in this contest, and he gets the stop there as Iboka picks it up and with the high slam there.
Yeah, we've seen, this is kind of what we've seen from the Dreamers this season. Again, getting into those sets, a lot of slips, a lot of side ball screens, but really not a lot of opportunities.
Little screen for the screener as Jeff, knocks it down.
And that's something Jeff's going to need to do. Again, great screen, coming middle, off the dribble, open three-pointer. Able to take advantage of that one.
Bennett with behind the back, but swallowed by Gilbeck.
Again, just a great job leaking out in transition. Showtime for the youngster. And again, these Dreamers do a great job on the weak side. We talked about Pointer being one of the league leaders in blocks. Most of those coming out the weak side. Gilbeck doing the same thing right there.
Bennett trying to spin on Jerry, but he spins into trouble and can barely hang on to it. He does fall out of bounds.
Again, just great ball pressure there, knowing that Gilbeck's going to be behind you. Jerry able to force the turnover from Bennett.
After probably the shortest stint this season, Iboka's in for AB.
And these games after that long break are a challenge for some players. Again, you've been off for a week. A lot of guys went overseas for vacation, and a little bit tough to get your win here in the first half.
Slip pass to Jerry, and they're going to call travel on him.
Yeah, I've seen Jerry doing a little bit too much here in the second quarter. We saw him on a tough post up. That time putting the ball on the floor off the roll. I'm sure the coaching staff has something to tell him on the sidelines.
An illegal screen over here. It's going to be William Martino.
Yeah, and those are screens that we see on both sides. Gilbeck does a great job of turning those screens into rolls. Martino not acting quite enough. Pretty obvious screen there. Easy call for the ref.
Jerry fresh into the ball game. It's all net with that one.
Again, same things we've seen from the Dreamers the past couple years, coming off those baseline screens. That time pass on time on target. Able to hit the three.
He's sneakily having a 10 points per game performance in the third season. Stop on Iboka, and here come the Dreamers in transition. Pointer slows it up for Jeff. Another three.
Another result of pushing the ball in transition. Mismatch. People not sure who they're guarding. Martino not wanting to come out of the lane. Wide open three. Another make for Jeff.
We have another break coming up as the Dreamers finding the stroke from outside after the New Year's.
好了，大家，我们全场一起来喊下下下下下，跟着音乐来一次，好不好？跟着壮壮，跟着女孩们，准备。谢谢女孩们，谢谢壮壮，再一次听到大家呐喊的加油声，梦想家，梦想家。
Plus League deliveries start their shipments out on Monday. Get out all the Oh My PLG line of merch and swag at PLeagueofficial.com/shop.
So I should be expecting my package from you then, Ryan?
You already got yours before the New Year's.
Oh, there's only one?
The next one will come next year.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought we were closer than that, Ryan.
So it's the Jinghua Middle School combination of Jeff Wu and Jay Chen, forcing the Lioneers to their second and last time out of the half. Xiao Sui fakes the shot down to Artino. Spins away and into traffic. Will get the foul call eventually.
Yeah, good footwork there from Artino, knowing that that double's coming. Able to keep that pivot foot down on the ground. Gilbert just a little bit too much body.
And another trip to the line for Artino. And the first one's too strong. And Kosache pointed out that Gilbeck was lingering a little bit too close. And 0 for 2 trip there. 1 too strong and 1 too short. The Pointer tried to get fancy and it's a turnover. Gilbeck, easy block on Artino.
Yeah, Artino understanding, trying to do a little bit too much on that one. Gilbeck with another easy block, doing a great job just going straight up. Lioneers fortunate to retain possession off of the great block in transition.
Now it's back to Derek on Artino. Oscar, runner goes up and down.
Pointer was there, ready to contest, let him get the shot off. Oscar with another floater.
One of the rare moments where it seems like the threat of the pass affected the defense more than the threat of the shot. Oscar trying to guard Jeff Wu, but Derek picking off the left side. It rolls out and Pointer almost with another possible play of the year.
It's just tough to see them try to get Jerry off pick and rolls on that roll, that time with Derek. If they're not going to be able to make those jumpers, then there's really no reason for that big to help on their own man. As we see Pointer, as you said, trying to get an early entry into plays of the year.
Oh, he's already got a few.
I mean, this year.
Yeah, oh, you're right.
Yes. He had a nice block today. Maybe that was his first entry.
I had to think, what was last year? Last year was the year of the Tiger. This year's the year of the Rabbit. Do you know the whole 12?
Not in order.
Not in order? That's interesting, because sometimes I only know them in order. There's a foul call.
I could probably give you 12 animals. I guess 11 animals and a dragon. There's a monkey in there somewhere. Rooster. Dreamer.
That's right.
Brave. Lioneer. Pilot. I think that's got to be close.
Yeah, you got it. That's why we hired you.
For my knowledge of the Chinese zodiac.
Oscar follows it up with a swish 3.
You've seen after that timeout, the Lioneers putting the ball a little bit more in Oscar's hands. And the captain rewarding him.
A Pointer slicing through. And there's going to be a foul from the slot official.
Just more miscommunication on that Lioneers pick and roll. Easy blow by on the top as we see, once again, trying to go over to go under, and Oscar taking advantage of that opening, but just not a lot of communication between locals and imports on the Lioneers pick and roll.
Pointer will sink the first free throw. The Dreamers were going under on everything against the Pilots in their last game, and the Pilots have those shooters to really burn them. Lioneers are kind of trying to find that. Julian Hall is a candidate. Oscar, of course, when he's finding his stroke.
His third year, I think, in the first couple of years, people would definitely go under with Oscar not being able to punish them. This year, doing a little bit better, getting those shots off the pick and roll.
Pointer gets his fingers on it, but nice find, and Gilbeck erases that one, and the Dreamers are off to the races. Pointer will pull it from 3. Short, and here come the Lioneers right away. This time off the bank. Joker gets the 2 points he was looking for.
Yeah, nice job cutting off the ball last possession, just not expecting Gilbert to help from the weak side. That time not taking any chances, pulling up from about 10 feet in transition. Again, nice cut off of Pointer's help. But we've seen it time and time again. Gilbeck just doing a great job helping off the weak side. Great anticipation.
That's already 6 blocks for the Dreamers, and the Lioneers have put their hands up, but they have no blocks to show for it. Derek will try from 3. The rainbow is off to the right.
And again, if those mid-range jumpers aren't going to go down and the bigs can help, not a lot of room for them.
Oscar took a fall as Pointer with a little showtime on that end. The whistle for Oscar to take a little inventory. He's kind of working that left wrist, and
yeah, we talked about him doing a great job in space that time, driving into a few too many bodies, getting caught in the air. There's his first entry for the year of the Rabbit, Ryan.
Going it to the left and back over the top, giving the Dreamers a 15-point lead. Hayes split his feet, but hit the 3.
A lot of time coming off that ball screen. And that's what Oscar does best. And again, one of the best in the league at pressuring the ball, one-on-one, full court, creates the turnover, and Hayden with the unsportsmanlike.
He's accumulated quite a few special fouls on himself. Pretty careless with the dribble, and that left hand.
You know Oscar's sitting on that crossover. You know that you cannot go crossover in front of him. Yeah, just mental mistake there by Hayden.
He'll head to the bench, and it's going to be Achi and Jeff Wu, the backcourt for the Dreamers, as Oscar also showing off how healthy he is after that fall. Hits 2 free throws. He does lead the team at 80% free throw shooting. But Oscar now drops the dribble, and it's Gilbeck leading the break. Toward the basket, ball slips, and Lioneers can only foul him down low.
We saw Artino doing a little bit too much on the break that time. Gilbeck pretending he's a point guard. Fortunately, as they've done all game, Dreamers another offensive rebound.
Good help by Bennett to get back into the picture.
Good, he's behind the play. Gilbeck with nice hands to steal the Oscar pass, but again, this guard's not helping any of the bigs out here for the Lioneers.
First free throw missed by Gilbeck, and he makes the adjustment. On the season, he is shooting 68% from the line. Oka from the top of the key will pull up in Gilbeck's face, no good.
That's the one issue with this Lioneers lineup. As we see Oscar once again able to get an open court steal.
And it's Joker who knocks it down. The Lioneers making a game out of it, forced the Dreamers to call timeout. But what an effort by Oscar, leaping over his opponent and getting the Lioneers an extra possession. They're down by 8.
That's the thing, you have 3 ball handlers on the court. That is not one of them. Oscar, you could just see him salivating, knowing that there was a steal coming. Nice find in transition as we cut this to a single-digit game.
That makes it 5 points on Xiaohei's afternoon, as he's got his stint in the second quarter working pretty well for the Lioneers. And kind of funny though, the two of them look pretty winded from that stretch there.
I mean, it's really started from defense. We've seen Oscar doing a good job picking up full court, and then again, his teammate just doing the easy things out there. Threes in transition, pull-ups in transition, threes off pick and rolls. Again, not trying to do too much, which is sometimes really tough for younger players. And, well, we've seen Oscar really lead this Lioneers comeback here in the second quarter.
Now the Lioneers over the Lunar New Year break did have changes to their roster. They said thank you and goodbye to number 3 Ling Mingyi, who only played 9 games this season. Now their team is down to 14 players on the roster. They had as many as 18 in season 1, 19 if you can kind of count player coach Julian Wright back in the day. So the team in their progression going through their own different kind of roster constructions and changes, trying to really, I guess, trim down on who they want on the team and who will really make a difference too on practices as well.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned it a couple of times, Oscar's definitely had a little bit more responsibility put on his shoulders. Over the first couple seasons, it was really a three-headed monster at the point between him, Ken Hao, and Ling Mingyi. But as this season, as his playing time and time of possession has gone up quite a bit, really not a lot of necessity for another undersized point guard on the roster.
Top scorer of the game, Luke went down the center line and he hits the first free throw. Just like a number of players between these two teams in the league, out of Songshan High School, then went to Taishin University. Back up by 10. Austin trying to get some more screening action going into Boca with the slip. As Joker will get the free throws coming up on the crash contest by Aji. Not said his name a lot today, and that's not for a good reason there.
Again, just making the right play, getting the ball into the shot clock, shooting an open shot, bad closeout, 3 shots from the line.
So we mentioned Li. His departure means the Lioneers don't have their Nanhu Suangqiang, their dual wheel from Nanhu High School. The other one belongs to the Braves with Zhou Guiyu and TJ Jianping Zhao. We're trying to make up some things in our press releases.
Who comes up with all these nicknames, Ryan? I'm impressed at your creativity.
Gotta give credit to the Taiwan basketball press group. They're trying to make something.
But aren't we all, Ryan? Aren't we all?
That's right. Lioneers bring on Guo Shaojie. Aji. Ryan sidestepper. The three is on the way. Perfect.
Good job knowing that Oscar bites on most of those fakes, creating space and able to hit that top of the key.
The contested passes, the Dreamers want to do a good job closing out the half. Fellow rookies Iboka and Xiaohei on the side. Out to Oscar. His three is on the way. No. Aji will speed pass Oscar to Gilbeck in the middle. Over the top of Guo Shaojie. It's Brandon Gilbeck joining the fun. Completely leaving Iboka alone. Now he's going to attack loses it, and it's Gilbeck to Jeff. With space, he'll pick up the dribble. And now Gilbeck turns it over, and a foul in transition as Oscar and Aji going down. It looks like Oscar might have turned the ankle.
I'm not sure if Aji got a little bump from Bennett into Oscar.
He's admitted he suffered his first kind of serious ankle injury in the season opener against the Braves. Now still down in a heap. Now on his hands and knees. We'll get another look at the play. There's Aji going down. Ooh, could be that high ankle sprain variety.
Yeah. Bennett trying to set that screen in transition. And like you said, not a lot of movement low, but Oscar obviously in a bit of pain here as he eventually walks off under his own power.
The referees will certainly have something to talk about on that play. The foul call was just on Aji, so they would have to issue a specialty foul against Anthony Bennett if they were to call a foul.
At this point, a little extracurricular activity in the stands here, as hopefully we can get back to some game action here. I hope that Oscar's okay.
And while plenty of Dreamer staff members are trying to help out Eric, he's definitely supposed to be the one person who's really gets into it with the referees, if anything.
To see who shoots these free throws. Oscar not able to do it. Not sure what kind of foul is being called. Finally able to get a couple shots for Chen in Oscar's place.
He switches the first. Well, Aji looks like he's decently recovered from that hit. Two made by Tianhao. Over to Jerry, who hops for the three. It bounces out. Eventually, Boca picks it up. One-man army leaves it short at the rim. And the rebound looks like it'll stay with the Lioneers. And that's Iboka's specialty from college. Being a very physical player.
That's where most of these young players kind of excel. We've seen them doing a good job in transition. Not really a lot of decisions to be made, just attacking the rim. That time, again, Gilbeck affecting the shot, just not able to get the defensive rebound.
A little bit more of a threat. Guo Xiaojie won't have that much space. He passes it off as Tianhao finishes easy on the run.
Again, these guards just getting so much room off of Bennett's pick and rolls. Really nobody there in Tianhao's way.
Pointer with a turnaround J. It's in. Still a 10-point Dreamers lead. Martino trying to go fast. Forces it up. No good. Pointer getting to the middle, and he's fouled.
Just another blow by there by the rookie. Pointer able to get right to the basket. As we see once again the nice spin move and shot over the extended arms of Martino. A couple of nice attacks in transition for Pointer. This time able to get to the line.
He had a team high 24 points in their last matchup back on January 13th. One thing that was notable that the Dreamers only 7 for 33 from three-point range that afternoon, that evening, in fact. He bounces in a pair. Hayden's back in, guarding the point. Little give and go. Guo Shaojie out to Tianhao. The three is up. It's in.
Yeah, great cut, great extra pass. Pointer going for the help. Again, just understanding that moving, cutting, opening up opportunities.
An unsportsmanlike foul and a little bit of extra going on. The referees jump in the middle of it.
And this is the Lioneers Dreamers that we've gotten used to, Ryan. No love lost between these two teams, between the fans.
And the referees have a little bit more to sort out. There is one unsportsmanlike that was gestured to the scorer's table.
Yeah, again, it all starts from that ball pressure. Again, a little bit of hands, a lot of flopping, no call, and then a little forearm shiver to the face, which is definitely unsportsmanlike. It'll be interesting to see if he continues to be able to play in this game, right?
Referees definitely have a lot to sort out because there's, by the rule book, you can issue a foul for every single contact made between the players, and that's something that the when you kind of hope the referee's also an accountant.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really there until this forearm to the face. Again, pressure by Tianhao, probably could have been called a foul, a flop. Everybody confused. Shaojie getting a little bit too into the action and getting revenge for his teammate that probably didn't need revenge.
If we were to be historians, we'd flip open the history books where last year it was Yankovic and Oscar who were kind of tangled up on the basket nearby.
Like I said, Ryan, no love lost between these two teams.
And then the biggest incident was in the first season where, if I remember correctly, it was Jaren Young and Brandon Dawson who were in the middle of things. So the referees are emerged from the replay monitor. Our partners at FTV providing the camera production on this game.
莫尚杰 unsportsmanlike foul 违反运动精神犯规，梦想家罚球2次。
And after all of that is just an unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, that's, we've seen the NBA crack down on any contact above the shoulders. NFL too, for that matter, but again, apparently not enough to kick him out for today. Lahu playing to the crowd a little bit. Again, with 15 seconds left, hopefully everybody can keep their heads and calm down a little bit in over the halftime break.
Missing on that first free throw. And missing both of them. All three participants in the middle of that one, Hayden, Tianhao, and Guo Shaojie will stay in the game. get some of those points back. Hall misses the half-court heave.
You said it, best revenge. Three-pointer right before the half. Nice set. Great sprint out from the down screen. Nice make to send these Dreamers into halftime with a little bit of momentum.
We'll be going to halftime and try to sort things out after the Dreamers taking a 12-point halftime lead.
的球迷朋友，待会在我们的美食摊位区，今天饮料要完成兑换。来，我丢给各位啦，准备好喽！
来，想要的朋友帮我们举起双手。还有一个。
谢谢3位的球迷朋友，我们把中场的时间交给壮壮以及丹尼。
好，谢谢阿吉。好的，大家好，我是你们的梦想特派员丹尼。 好，又来到我们台新梦想家的中场游戏啦！今天要玩什么呢？今天我们认真过好年，梦想骰骰乐。新春最重要的是什么？那就是运气，好不好？希望在场的球迷朋友都可以跟我跟壮壮一样，穿得这么红，增添一点喜气啦，好不好？
喜洋洋的感觉。
没错。好，我们刚刚有邀请到6位球迷，我们请他们一起到场中央，好不好？来，向前。 来，球迷朋友，不要害羞，不要害羞。好的，来，首先想请问一下我们球迷朋友，有没有玩过掷骰子的游戏？在过年，好，都有玩过吼。好 ，in case 我们就是在场的球迷朋友，有些人没玩过，我简单的讲解一下规则。等一下我们会有4颗骰子，然后球迷朋友你们依序，你们手上拿3颗，会有理查帮你丢出第4颗，好不好？ 然后骰出4颗，需要有1对对子，然后有1对对子的话，另外2个点数加起来，反正高的呢就比较厉害，好不好？那如果骰出2对对子的话，那就是以比较高的点数为计算，然后每一个人总共有3次机会，如果3次内都没有骰出点数的话，就比较可惜了，淘汰了，好不好？好，那我们就从我们第1位球迷朋友开始来。 准备好你的骰子，拿好就可以跟理查一起够了，好不好？来，我到3个骰子哦，比较难拿一点。
3个一起掷出去。
好，准备哦。如果有这位球迷的朋友想要跟他一起玩的话，可以喊，比如说豹子啊、碧鸡啊之类的，好不好？好，那我们3、2、1 ，Go！
1, 2, ready, go！
有吗？有了，2对对子，总共是8点。然后第1位球迷朋友，恭喜你获得8点，好，非常棒的青春第1炮。好，我们轮到第2位球迷朋友了，就比照刚刚的方法哦。好，3、2、1 ，Go！ 我要丢得很高哦，有没有这位球迷的朋友帮他呐喊一下？
有4，3个4。
We're back here in the Taishin where a little festive dice game is going on at halftime. Every week is a new episode of Lioneers Masama on the Plus League YouTube channel. Over the break, it was the visit with every rookie from the 2022 Plus League draft class. There's Kyle Zuotong, Kai and Eddie Zhang Yaozong on the Mandarin broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen and Coach Ben Metcalf commentating on the English side. And one thing we appreciated from the start of the game is a pretty efficient scoring game of basketball so far. But of course, as we've said many times, it's a kind of the classic good mutual feelings between the two teams.
Yeah, I couldn't get away from that at the end of the first half. But we mentioned pre-game that these Dreamers have really struggled shooting the ball the first half of the season. Right now, as you can see there, 50% shooting overall and then 50% from three-point line. And that's really what spurred them out to this lead, especially when adding up with the 26 rebounds that they've had compared to those 12 of the Lioneers. So good first half overall for the Dreamers.
But glass half full, glass half empty. The Lioneers, despite being down by so many rebounds, they still are having a great chance in the rest of the game.
Yeah, we've seen them under the leadership of their captain Oscar kind of cutting the back into that lead, getting it to a single-digit deficit there in the second half of the second quarter. But it'll be interesting to see how his injury situation plays a part in what they do in this second half.
And I noticed from the Dreamers in the first half had a lot more catch and shoot threes, whereas their struggles recently, they have a lot of screen roll, pull-up threes, or maybe on the handoff, which are a little bit tougher, it seems. And of course, they're doing a great job pushing the pace as well.
Yeah, you said it. That's the easiest way to kind of get back into that rhythm. Push the pace. Nice catch and shoot threes in transition, where the defense really can't catch up, or it's got some bad closeouts. Again, it'll be interesting to see the Lioneers, they went away from that 3-2 zone pretty quickly there in the first quarter, and it's been a pretty much even game after that. Let's see what kind of adjustments they make out of halftime.
The Lioneers import duo of Ben and Artino are 1-1 on the season, with their one win coming against the Dreamers, where they combined for 44 points on 50% shooting. But in this game, they're not having such an easy time looking for each other in the interior against the Dreamers.
Yeah, a lot of that you can credit to the game plan, credit to Mr. Pointer over there, just kind of mucking everything up, in addition to some highlight dunks in transition.
We're closing in on some of the important moments closing in the quarter, including Oscar stealing a couple possessions consecutively and giving his team an opportunity for easy scores.
Yeah, we said he really sparked that run in the second half of the second quarter for the Lioneers. Starting on the defensive end, just pressuring the ball, a couple of open court steals, and then ball pressure kind of leading to this incident, which hopefully everybody can calm down at halftime and lead us into a good second half.
Got another segment coming up after these messages.
6点是哪一位啊？恭喜我们紫色帽 T 的朋友甩出6点。好了，我们现在计算一下成绩，我们的名次已经出来啦。
好，来计算成绩的当时呢，我们今天中场游戏很开心，跟丹尼一起来我们的主场来跟大家拜年啦，祝大家新年快乐！
新年快乐！
是的，在这个兔年呢，也希望大家都可以常常来到我们的台中梦想家的主场，跟着我们的梦想家的家人朋友以及球员，还有我们的啦啦队 Formosa Sexy 兔，欢乐兔一整年。
没错没错，也希望大家在过年期间，好不好？不要饮酒过量，喝到吐。
哇，今天的奖品感觉好像相当不错哦，是不是？
好的，我们已经计算完我们的成绩了，那么我们就先帮我们的后3位的得主好了，我们请我们后面3位的得主往前。
恭喜3位得主，指出非常亮丽又幸运的数字，看一下前方镜头。
来，3位球迷可以获得我们的兔年好运奖。我们的台新 GoGo Rewards 联名卡购车金2000元，还有 GoGo 新年礼包。来，我们看我们前面的摄影师，来，3、2、1，
好，谢谢。
好，谢谢。
谢谢。
好的，接下来呢，我们就要邀请我们第3名跟第2名了。不过呢，我们要邀请我们的颁奖人，那就是我们台新银行的总经理暨台新梦想家荣誉领队尚瑞强总经理。
来帮我们颁发奖项。
来，尚总经理这边请。好，我们的第3名以及我们第2名的球迷朋友，来第3名这边。第2名比较 lucky， 可以站在我们壮壮的旁边。
来，第2名幸运得主。
好，我们首先颁发我们第3名的3奖，可以获得我们台新 GoGo Rewards 联名卡购车金6666元，以及 GoGo 的新年礼包。另外第2名呢，2奖则是我们台新 GoGo Rewards 联名卡购车金8888，以及我们的 GoGo 新年礼包。好，等一下不要走开，重头戏来了，这是我们台新银行再加码啦。
哦，还有加码多少？
没错，我们第3名呢，台新银行加码我们的台新 GoGo Rewards 联名卡购车金6000元。 然后我们第2名呢，则是有加码获得台新购购如果联名卡购车。
Tomorrow, the Kings are in town to play the Dreamers, who are seeking revenge, and the Steelers are in Taipei to take on the Braves, seeking their first road win of the season. Here in the second segment, here in our Plus League broadcast, in this 3rd season, we bring you the leading scorers, starting with the Lioneers. William Martino, 11. Joker Zimbori with 11. Oscar Galgohal with 11. Taylor's got 10, and Anthony Bennett, 6 points, coming earlier in the game.
We mentioned Oscar's contribution there in the second quarter, but again, Artino doing a good job knowing where those double teams are coming from. And then the rookie, Joker, again, just kind of doing what the defense gives them for those easy opportunities. It'll be interesting to see who comes out in the second half.
For the Dreamers, it starts with Ryan Luguanyang's 23 points, then it's Pointer with 12, Gilbeck 10, Jerry Toboton with 10 points, and Jeff Wu, who's kind of found the range a little bit with 8 points. It seems like the Dreamers overall have done something right over the break, because it feels like anyone who's out on the floor is a threat to score.
Oh, they figured Dad had to shoot, Ryan.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we talked about those 3-point woes. Ryan coming out 6 of 9 from 3 in the first half. Derry 2 of 4 on some very high degree of difficulty 3-pointers. They slowed down a little bit there in the second quarter, but again, if you keep up the pace, those shots are going to be there. You know those bigs are going to set great screens for you. I'm sure we can look to see more of that from the Dreamers here in the second half.
We have just about 3.5 minutes before the start of the second half. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back after this.
投进3分球的梦想家球员是周伯成。
耶，非常可以。
好，现在就让我们请周周来抽出我们的幸运得主啦，抽6位。
6位。
没错，这是伯成的箱子，来6位，要抽起来。
第1位是赖永成。
赖永成
有没有在？永成同学。
赖同学没有写电话后3码哦，赖同学。
目前没有。第2位是我们的吴俊明。
吴俊明同学。
第3位是我们的赖心怡。
赖心怡同学哦，有写后3码哦，607末3码607的同学。恭喜恭喜！
接下来是孔燕琪，应该是孔吧？孔燕琪。
孔燕琪同学哦，电话末3码是470。470。
接下来是我们的刘，这个有点难看，刘毅吗？
应该是刘义昌。
刘义昌。
刘义昌，电话末3码879。
879，最后一位是我们的刘兴龙。
刘同学。
344。
对，344末3码344。好，那么抽中的幸运6位球迷，等一下比赛结束的时候，到入口计票服务处领取奖品。那么没有抽中你的朋友没关系，我们大荧幕，大荧幕的 QR code 呢？本来我们大荧幕有一个 QR code， 扫那个 QR code 的话，就可以一样购买我们的真无线耳机。好，
今年的主场真的是第1场的这个新年加码就加好多，
真的是加到宝啊！好，那就恭喜以上抽到的所有球迷朋友啦！
恭喜！那我们继续为我们的球赛梦想家一起加油！
在变现，我的字典没有喇叭嘴，那些没用的 hater 只会口口是垃圾碎。当我实现从小的梦，流过多少眼泪 ，Man you never know。这什么心，梦谁都能成为传奇，为自己写下独一无二的传奇。With my gang 改变世界口水扳机 ，I feel good 'cause I'm in a hell。Fight with the demon all night long。Fight with the demon all night long. I fight with the demon all night long. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. 我来顶峰，看着最美的风景，颠簸的路走得不太算容易，到过地狱才能见到光明。I'm in my dream, yeah. 最美的风景，我的顶峰看着最美的风景，没空接电话，是等我铺的生平，放那些杂不是我的东西。
Back from the Lunar New Year break, the Plus League is already in action, and tonight we bring you Pilots versus Braves in Heping Gymnasium. And the Dreamers and the Braves will continue to be home teams for tomorrow's back-to-back. Good to see the folks come out after having some time off and maybe going some places. I myself stayed close to home in Taipei. Something out of the break, I found that Sir Dominique Pointer is also third in the Plus League in steals at 2.7, and nobody has ever been in the top 5 in both categories. Anyone in the top 10 for both that seems to beat Brendan Dawson, Davon Reed from season 1, Brendan Dawson again, and Devin Robinson from season 2. So elite company, and Sir Dominique Pointer could be even higher, considered higher than all of those in terms of his defensive impact on the floor.
And a lot of those are all coming from the weak side, which is obviously a product of the Dreamer scheme that they have defensively. Again, he's just able to roam, especially against a team like the Lioneers, which always have somebody on the court who he really doesn't have to guard. And he just does a great job of affecting the game on both sides of the ball.
Lioneers start things out with Tian Hao, Guo Shaojie, and Zheng Boyu.
Probably not a good sign, as we saw Oscar tweak that ankle a little bit at the end of the second quarter, not coming out here to start out the second half.
As Guo Shaojie in there and knocks down his first 3 of the half.
Change of the starting lineup here in the second half. Xiao Shunyi out of the game, Shaojie in there. Pointer able to cheat a little bit less than he could in the first half.
Wu Guanliang back to Pointer. 2-1 on the clock. The deep shot is in.
It's the ability to make something out of nothing. Trading threes here in the first minute of the third quarter.
Brings his point total to 15. Bennett rifles the pass to Shaojie. He's got another try, but it's out.
You can see those shots are going to be there. Pointer way there on the strong side.
Bennett probably got away with a flop there and then commits the foul.
Gilbert upset himself, 1 for not catching it, 2 for not finishing that shot action. Again, now he's upset about not finishing that shot action, as he realizes this is going to be baseline out of bounds.
There were 12 fouls committed by the Lioneers and 13 by the Dreamers. Pointer from the far corner tries another one, and it's good.
Again, we've seen these Lioneers have a little bit of communication issues between the locals and imports. Outside a simple back screen on the weak side, Artino and Shaojie not communicating. Wide open three-pointer for Pointer.
Bennett, a little bit of a flare action for Tian Hao. He misses his 3. And again, solid defensive rebounding by the Dreamers. As Tian Hao and Pointer have a little camaraderie after the foul.
Tian Hao knows not to pick on somebody who's bigger than him. As we see again, that easy back screen flare on the weak side. No communication. Pointer with the second 3 of the third quarter.
Zhou Bochen with an easy mid-range.
Said it all game. Those shots are going to be there every possession, regardless of whether it's Jerry or Derek. Nice job taking advantage of it.
A B pass through the hands of Artino. Pointer, the recipient, one-man show, and he finishes. No, Gilbeck can't get it in, and it's going to be a loose ball out of bounds. We'll stay with the Dreamers, but that's not the points per possession value to expect out of a fast break between these two.
Talked about it before, just going Moses Malone, trying to pad those offensive rebound stats.
Gilbeck avoids one defender, then steps through and swirls it out.
Yeah, great step through, just not able to finish with the left hand.
Point set for the Lioneers. And Artino working his way through, and Bennett can't get the finish. Well, so much for the shooting percentage we talked about in the first half. Quick turnover on the pass. Now, hey, we'll get the foul. We'll go to the line.
Yeah, Pointer had the right idea, just threw to the wrong shoulder. Gilbeck, second time in the third quarter, not able to catch that entry pass. Turnover leading to 2 free throws for Joker.
It's going to be the first team foul for the Dreamers on the quarter. The Lioneers, besides William Martino, have been perfect at the line.
That besides is a very big besides, Ryan.
Making the first. Well, the homework I did coming into the game is, funny enough, Taichung is where in the third season the Plus League has the highest free throw percentage at 72%. And season 2, 68% was the second highest in the Plus League. So not that much of a distraction for the road team now.
Don't tell the cheerleaders that, Ryan.
I'm sure they would not have a good Lunar New Year's return if I did. There's a turnover on the pass, not on the same page.
Yeah, it's one of those, if you make your back cut, just finish it. Sloppy coming out of the halftime break for both teams so far.
Driving kick as Joker kind of in between a pass and a dribble, and Gosalja left open. No good. The Dreamers down this side looking for Gilbeck, given space. Aiden with the teardrop, it's out. And the Lioneers eventually secure the rebound.
These Lioneers look a little bit disorganized with Oscar out of the game. We see Joker trying to create on his own, which is not something he's done a good job so far in this game.
Salgio will tie again. It's good.
And that's what we're going to see if these Dreamers do a little bit of an adjustment defensively. Again, Pointer not being able to sink so far off of Salgio. Already gotten hit for a couple threes.
Now Jerry will pull up further now, but another miss. Quick AB, low post, and look what I found. Willie Martino had that one rejected. Ryan putting the moves on, but a easy block from number 13, Anthony Bennett.
See Pointer just kind of telling everybody to calm down a little bit. Ryan getting a little too excited, getting caught up into the air as we see Pointer once again able to get that block from behind. And then Ryan just serving it up for Bennett to knock it out of bounds.
The highest number of blocks as a team this year is 10. Derek in and out with that three. Loose ball, it's going to be jumped up.
Great effort there from Jerry. Anthony Bennett looking a little bit winded here to start the third, not boxing out. Jerry crashing in, getting a hand on it, leading to that jump ball and retained possession for the Dreamers.
Interestingly enough, 10 blocks happened 3 times this season, and unfortunately it was all to the same red team, that is not the Dreamers. Pointer late in the shot clock will put it up. This time Gosalja secures the rebound. Quickly the other way, Tian Hao catch it back. Bad decision to get up in the air, and it's Pointer one-on-one against Seoljie. Smart hands, and Pointer sticks with it for the finish.
Seoljie, good job on the initial strip. Pointer able to get it back. A little bit too much to ask, but Seoljie able to defend 2 times in the same possession.
Substitutions coming in for both teams, but we got a timeout coming up as Artino tries the hook pass, and Achi kind of just stumbles out of bounds, saving the Lioneers from a turnover there.
Just not much movement there on the weak side from Martino. Anticipating a cut from his teammate. Bennett throws it out of bounds.
Our first break in the second half. We'll be back after this.
只要跟我们有做动作的球迷朋友，我们将会送你一份新年小礼，可以到 GoGo 的摊位领取 GoShare 的骑乘金500元。来喽，摆出骑车的姿势，左右晃一下，这位美女朋友，耶！待会可以到 GoGo 的摊位领取 GoShare 骑乘金500。来，这位球迷朋友，对，跟着我们的摩托车一起互动一下。 不用害羞，来喽，换你们 ！Thank you， 耶！好嘞，谢谢我们的球迷朋友。待会记得被镜头照到的，可以到 GoGo 的摊位领取 GoShare 的骑乘金。
Another 5-game set next week in the Plus League. Steelers home on Friday night against the Dreamers. Then the Braves host 2 games over the weekend. The Lioneers at the Lions Den on Sunday and Tuesday. The Dreamers out of their timeout first in front of what we expect to be a capacity crowd here in Taichung in a Continental Basketball Stadium. Even some Dreamers fans breaking out some of the LED lights.
We heard the coaching staff say before the game, it's been a while since these Dreamers have had a game in their home court. While their record may not be great, the fans' support is still exactly as it has been these past 2 years.
Coming in the game for the first time is number 23, Liu Qiming, there on the bottom. Fouled on the perimeter by Jeff Wu will be the 13th foul. Little mistake with the substitution. Guo Shaojie will kind of stay in. Tian Hao will be out. So Zhen Warrior is the point guard for the Lioneers. The double runs out. Guo Shaojie leaving Zhen Warrior all day, but he clanks the 3. Martino given a second chance, but throws it right to the Dreamer.
Another interior passing turnover from these Lioneers imports. Not ideal.
Pointer putting the moves on, shaking and baking. A mid-range J bucket.
Yeah, there's about 0% chance Mickey's going to be able to stay with Pointer. And Pointer can definitely feel that right now.
A little cross screen for Bennett, but they double it up. For Bennett, slipping and sliding, and the ball going to the corner. He's going to run out of time.
We've seen it this entire third quarter with Oscar out of the game. Just really no continuity, no focus on this offensive end for the Lioneers.
This third quarter is only 11-8, so 3 points for the Dreamers in the margin, but you ever get the feeling that the Lioneers kind of losing their grip on the game as Jeff, tough fadeaway, will bounce out.
Every year in the NBA, they talk about Jokic being the MVP because when he's out of the game, the Nuggets really struggle. I think this third quarter is another case for Oscar's MVP now.
A foul on the trip, they say. Zobotan try to play it smart on Bennett.
Flopping?
Well, I mean, trying to be. Did take a little bit to the chest, but you can't put your foot out, too.
Jerry, 10 years ago or so, his nickname was Iron Man because he's a big boy. He's strong. I don't think Anthony Bennett's that strong, so good acting job, just not able to finish that defensive shot.
And his first free throw takes a high bounce and in.
And he's really the guy who's going to have to step up. If you look at the guys on the court for these Lioneers, really nobody who can create on their own. I would hope that the ball would get past through Bennett's hands on every possession. Hopefully he can spark something and get some open shots for this Lioneers squad right now.
That free throw, probably more credit to Brendan Gilbeck.
We were talking about free throw defense earlier.
Jeff Wu in the game, swishes the three.
Again, something that they desperately needed. Jeff coming out of this Lunar New Year break, hitting shots.
Almost a turnover as the ball goes out of bounds. Iboka and Bennett.
You see the Lioneers trying to get the ball into Bennett. As again, great screen by Gilbeck, just dying on it by the Lioneers defender. But again, when you know you're trying to get the ball to Bennett, the defense knows you're trying to get the ball into Bennett. Doing it from bad angles becomes even tougher.
Zhao hates the mid-range and a tough finish over Aji.
That's, you mentioned it earlier, Ryan, with Zhao being at the point. He's definitely going to have a size mismatch, able to get that shot over Aji.
Now Aji with the incredible change-up finish.
And let's slam on the brakes, let the defense go flying through and hitting it off the glass.
Now the Dreamers trying to turn up the pressure with the Lioneers lacking in the guard depth. Iboka given space, he's waiting for an outlet. Bennett slips to the middle but drops the dribble. And he is absolutely gassed, struggling to get up. Over here, it's number 0, Woodley Trey. And things are picking up here in Taichung, where the Dreamers now open it up to a 20-point lead and force a timeout by the Lioneers.
We said with nobody able to create, the Lioneers go to Bennett every time. Unfortunately, with not a lot of spacing on the floor, that Dreamers defense focusing on one man. Tip passes, steals, transition opportunities, and this is what we've seen them do all day. That counterattack, threes in transition, Lioneers timeout.
On the quarter, the Dreamers are only 5 for 12 from 2-point range, but an efficient 3 for 5 from 3. And I think more importantly, they're also doing it on the defensive end. They've also secured 6 rebounds, which has led to a lot of those transition opportunities.
And that's something we've seen the Dreamers do all season. Again, as much as they've struggled offensively, their effort defensively has been consistent from the first game of the preseason. And that's something that I'm sure a new head coach isn't going to want to change. And we've seen that take into effect here in the third quarter, with some of the Lioneers players looking a little bit gassed.
They do edge out the Kings, allowing 91.6 points, and everyone's still behind the Pilots, who only give up 83.4 points per game on the season, a big turnaround from their form in the last 2 seasons. And again, the Dreamers have really done their homework, because out of every timeout and every break, they're the first on the floor, and the Lioneers have a lot more to talk about and make adjustments for. They're going to bring in Evan Lee, Jare.
Yeah, you mentioned Bennett being gassed, bringing Artino back in, bringing Jare back in. It'll be interesting to see who they try to run the offense through now.
That time, Tianhao kind of getting the best of Aji there. And that'll be a 4th foul on the Dreamers.
Talk about defensive intensity. The Lioneers still stuck on 2 team fouls with 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. That's something that you wouldn't expect from this team. But again, just lacking the effort on the defensive end of the court.
Another block by Gilbeck there against Artino.
Great job pushing into his left hand.
As Jeff Wu goes up and down with the shot. That brings his afternoon to 14 points. Trying to stick with Tianhao as Artino pushes it and leaves it short. The Dreamers run their offense. Jeff Wu, this time off the dribble. It's in! Minutes left in the 3rd. Evan throws it out of bounds.
And this has been the Lioneers' issues for 3 seasons. There's always somebody on the floor who the defense doesn't have to guard. You saw it in the 1st half with Sunyi. This here in the 2nd half with Evan. Again, Gilbeck just able to sit in the paint, helping on everything.
It's Mickey trying to stay with Jeff Wu. As Aji floats it up to Gilbeck, who spins around the defense and has him in a pretzel. He's got 2.
Just great footwork. Getting back to that left shoulder. The Dreamers who are starting to break this game open.
If there's one thing that's consistent across the Plus League this year, it's that home teams fare a lot better than they have last season. In fact, overall, their winning percentage in the 60s, whereas last year, it even favored the road team by a little bit.
And that's a credit to these teams and building up their home base, building up that home crowd, creating home court advantages. So we talk a lot about a team like the Lioneers who've done a great job, but the Dreamers, while their home court may be a little bit smaller, their fans have been very loyal, very faithful, and I'm sure more than anybody, they're excited to see this Dreamers team kind of show signs of what they used to be.
They say in the green vest, that's Professor Louis Chen, who plays a little bit of ball on the weekends, and we might need to get him dressed up. He's so fired up.
Professor.
He's a professor.
Exactly. Yeah, one of the most passionate fans, owners, leaders, whatever you want to call them. But again, the Dreamers leadership, thrilled to see them get back to what they know they can do.
The Lioneers' lone road win came against the Steelers by 1 point, as Terrence Jones had an opportunity toward the end of the game. And there's the pregame. Feeling the stress on the shoulders. It was head coach Eric, but Lewis trying to keep everything together.
And that means everything for a new coach. Again, somebody who's never been a head coach before, who's gotten the stamp of approval from his former head coach, from the leadership, from the management. Again, and whatever he did during the Lunar years has proven to work so far.
Number 5, Leon Somu-Xuan's in there for the first time, as Artino trying to swim through a double team. Will get the foul.
Just no room in there. With the Dreamers not respecting Evan at all. Gilbeck just going on the catch. Poor angle on the double team, letting Artino get to the line, but it's going to be tough for he or Anthony Bennett to do too much here in the second half.
Now, last year, the Lioneers did have the best road record at 12-3, and of course the best road plus minus. But it's definitely a tale of 2 stories, and I think one of the big things from my perspective is Sim Bular. Last year on the road, 28 points per game. 23 rebounds per game. And to start the season when he was a Lioneer, only 17 and 14 with 2 games scoring in the single digits. So the Lioneers have not had that consistency and that rock, that bedrock for them performance-wise on the road.
Yeah, so he's really somebody who's proven to be good in his first season in the league, good in the second, but down that third, his team starts to figure him out. That advantage really isn't what it used to be. We saw it happen in the former SBL. We saw it happen last year in the Plus League. And who knows if it'll happen in his next stop. But I think even last year in the playoffs, we really saw the Kings extend the Lioneers without one of their imports. We saw the Braves obviously take care of them very easily. So, again, it's really a new start for these Lioneers. Oscar did a great job in the first half before that injury, and that's what you like to see. But again, without him out here in the second half, it's just a completely different ballgame.
Good hands as they had Jay Chen with a nice slip pass to Derek. So baseline out of bounds. Jay Chen on Evans from way deep, but that one's well short.
Why they didn't just throw it to Jerry? You got 2 buzzer beaters there in the first quarter. The end of the shot clock special.
Here's that Martino from further out. Illegal offensive move and another turnover.
But you could see there, Jerry and Derek really just going a 2-man zone on Artino with 2 non-shooters in the game there. Just not a lot of space or opportunity for Artino to do anything.
Now it's Jay trying to challenge Artino. There's a block. And another one. Quickly down the floor. Hsinchu has got himself 2 points.
First fast break opportunity for a long time for these Lioneers.
And on his way to the hoop, Achi pokes a foul out of the Lioneers defense.
In theory, not a bad foul from Xiao Sui as they're not in the bonus, but just a little bit too late as Aji was able to get into that shooting action. He's going to have 2 shots at the line before this quarter ends.
The only Lioneer to not make it on the floor is number 2, Jiang Guangqian. Now, Achi's another third-year player we can compliment. He's definitely taking his bumps in the action, of course, as the smallest player on the floor more often than not, and he's also expected to score a lot of the Dreamers' points. That'll be the end of 3 quarters, and at 1 point from the century mark, the Dreamers have a nice lead heading to the 4th and final frame of this one.
耶，谢谢女孩们 ，Formosa sexy。
我们从不轻言投降，把握越是凶猛，我们越是狂妄，我们的出场，谁胆敢阻挡？我们并肩望明天涯，坚守承诺，直到我们一统天下，和平的金刚，努力的强壮。
Back from the Lunar New Year break of 2023. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like. As the Dreamers with a big third quarter. As you see, Tianlei now assuming the seat next to Lewis and General Manager Jonathan Hatton.
Calm down a little bit after that little run.
Bennett spinning and dropping out to Xiao Sui, and Brandon Gilbert will kind of fall into that foul there.
But again, Xiao Sui is going to create space by cutting. He's not somebody who's going to get the defense to respect him if he's standing outside the three-point line. That job, just doing a good job cutting. Bennett, a willing passer. Able to get that 2 free throws from the line.
As you mentioned, Xiao Sui, I don't even know if he even saw the floor in that last quarter. And even as a starter, he's a guy that Coach Greg likes to pair out there with shooters. But in this lineup, along with Evan Lee, Jia Rui, and Song Yuxuan, that's a little bit hard to find.
Yeah, again, he's a role player who does a good job at his role. But, again, expecting him to do too much on the offensive end of the court is probably a little bit too much.
Evan goes high for the rebound and pushes up ahead. It's Song Yuxuan who kind of ran out of room there. Nice layup, and Dreamers get Gilbeck floating it in for 2.
Again, to have your big, be able to run rim to rim before any of the other defenders get down there, it's got to be really frustrating for Coach Greg.
Now Evan catches and fires, and there it goes. 3 points for number 12.
We'll see if that changes any of the Dreamers' defensive assignments, or if they're still going to lock in on Anthony Bennett.
Hayden will get to the same range, and he pushes it in. One, Evan tries another one, and it's in.
Gilbeck helping at the rim. Perimeter defenders not rotating on really the non-shooter, but after 2 threes, maybe it's time for an adjustment.
Played in the shot clock again. Jerry pops the 2-pointer. But no, not this time. Bennett handoff to Song Yuxuan. Now Xiao Sui, he puts it in. If that's 3, that will make it a 20-point game and send the 2 teams to the benches for this Dreamers timeout. We got another break as the Lioneers are trying to go for a miracle in the 4th quarter.
第4节103比83，我们还保有20分的领先。再一次延续我们的气势，呐喊一下我们的口号喽！梦想下，梦想下，梦想下。谢谢大家，谢谢女孩，谢谢壮壮。暂停时间到。
In a classic matchup from the Plus League's inaugural year, it's the Pilots and the Braves at 5 p.m. Can you believe it, Coach? One team has not had a win at the opponent's arena in 2 seasons. We'll see if they can buck that trend in the first visit at Hoping Gymnasium for the Pilots.
I cannot believe it, Ryan. But you know what? I'm going to be tuning in later tonight to see if they can break that streak. Yourself?
I cannot believe it either. I look that up all the time. And in fact, the funny thing about that matchup is the Pilots can't even get their scoring going in the highest scoring environment in the Plus League, only 91 points per game. And at Hoping Gymnasium, teams average 103 points per game. So they're short 12 points. Kind of hard to win.
That is very hard to win.
Jeff sets the screen, and it's Ryan who pops for 3, and he gets so close with that one.
That's the story of 2 quarters. You saw that shot go in the end of the second quarter. Missed it there, but it's been the Lioneers coming out hot from behind the arc in the 4th quarter.
After a couple possessions, Gilbeck will check out of the game.
Just get a little more creation on the offensive end. He's kind of had an easy day offensively. Pointer has. And at this point, they need a couple baskets to spread that lead up into the mid-20s.
Ryan fakes the pass, then pulls up. Interesting enough, the Dreamers have registered number 18, Yamse Yin. He's done with his military service as Leon gets the layup on the baseline.
You see Dreamers getting caught mismatched out of transition that time. Easy blow-by Leon up. Going by Derek. Things are getting interesting here in the 4th quarter.
Trying to take on Bennett, fakes him up, and gets the under.
Much better job there by Ryan. And once again, we see the Lioneers with function in the game. Leon, he's going to push the pace.
Bennett fires 3, but that's off the mark.
Pointer trying to pull a Ja Moran out there, stealing another couple seconds as Xiao Suni rides him out of bounds and creates a turnover.
So just like that, the Dreamers want to get in Achi for some scoring as he avoids Bennett 3 or 4 times there physically.
Yeah, at this point, you know he's tired. He's probably going to jump at those pump fakes. Great job just being patient and getting around Bennett.
A little bit of the back door, but Xiaohei can't get the finish. A careless pass. And his numbers for the Lioneers. Bennett trying to sneak a pass, was it? But it's going to roll helplessly out of bounds.
I think that's the perfect gadget of Ryan. Careless on both ends. Again, not Bennett's first game. We've seen him be a very willing passer out of the post in transition. Again, just poor spacing from the Lioneers on that break.
To his credit, he does have 2.6 assists per game in this season. Down low to Derek, he's got the angle and the finish.
Great job right there, just able to find the mismatch, going high-low. The former Oolong Dino playing it.
Now Bennett with a little bit of burst of energy. He'll get the score, and it looks like he'll go to the line.
And that's the difference between Pointer and Gilbeck. We've seen Gilbeck just waiting there under the rim as we, again, see them taking advantage of the mismatch. Great high-low. That time with Pointer protecting the rim, he's going to go for the steal, allowing Bennett the opportunity for a 3-point play.
Trying to steal some extra moments of rest. Bennett finally steps up to the line.
I don't think he can steal as many moments as he needs to have.
3 bounces and out.
The cheerleaders very proud of themselves on that one.
Derek slips the screen, now goes to the basket. Does not have the angle, and the Lioneers turn it over. A still Dominic Pointer shows off his vertical there. Assist to Achi, and turnover again for the Lioneers. This one in transition.
Those were those tough ones where you're trying to make a run, turnover, 2 easy points for the opposition.
Xiaohei gets the shot off, but it's no good. All day, Ryan, another three. Back in the fray in this was turned into kind of a track meet. Junior's already on 99 and through 3 quarters, trying to push that number up.
You can see right there, it's Anthony Bennett, one man in the paint against 5 Dreamers defenders. Dreamers intent on not letting him get back in the game. They can live with those non-shooters making threes. As Coach Greg decides to give Bennett a little blow here with 5 minutes left.
They'll bring in 3, including the aforementioned Jiang Guangqian, who will get his first run of the game. And then Manimal, number 7, he'll get his first in the game. Jeff Wu, dribble pull-up. Definitely feels like he's getting a lot more air under him, and his legs are a little bit more bouncy than before the break.
That's something that maybe comes from the new coaching staff. Again, understanding that maybe it's time to give players a little bit of time off, let them get their legs under them. And again, it's definitely worked here in this first game after the Lunar New Year break.
Having Lee Jare go to the line on the, they called it on Derek.
Same thing he got called for in the first half, just a little bit too much forearm action.
Lee Jare on the season, hitting 5 of 6 free throws heading into the night. He keeps on passing up open threes, but statistically, before tonight, he was only 6 for 27 out there, so he knows his own scouting report. But like you say, the cutting is definitely the more opportune scoring opportunities for him and guys like Xiao Sun-yi. They rotated around, but Pointer will put it on the deck and it'll lead to a turnover. Artino trying to beat the entire Dreamers defense, and he does with the left hand.
When Artino has time and room, he's got good footwork, able to create space, soft touch off the glass. And I think we are officially into garbage time, right?
How many A's are in garbage? I see. It does seem like garbage, but it's got 7 A's in it. Artino that time works hard for his 2 points.
See, new head coach getting a little bit concerned, getting Gilbeck back in the game, getting a little bit of rim protection, not feeling comfortable with this 19-point lead with 4 minutes left. But again, now it's just a matter of remembering your roles and excelling in those roles for the last 4 minutes of the game.
Chen surprises everyone. He gets the teardrop to go.
Yeah, you said a nice look off. And Gilbeck, such a great roller, taking Artino back with him. They able to make that with a nice kiss off the glass.
Artino forgoes the handoff and tries from deep. Pull it past Asalgia out to Lee Jare. That's a good opening, but he can't finish. Jay fakes the one way and splashes the three on the other side.
These Dreamers just playing with so much confidence. Everything's easy for him today.
Don't worry, he's pretty good on the post, but he'll give it up. Hsinchu with the board.
Yeah. Evans still not willing to cut. No split actions. Threes.
Derek got pretty high there, but he can't secure the ball. On the other side, Arsino. Nice move to score around Gilbert.
Good job using the rim to protect him. Coach Greg, as always, has an opinion about that last play.
Over to Derek. He's got the pink sneakers on. It doesn't help his accuracy there. Jeff Wu with the take foul to get in 3 Dreamers onto the floor.
Ryan, I think we have 2 questions left for the end of the game.
Okay.
One a little bit more serious than the other. I think Oscar's injury situation is obviously a concern for these Lioneers. He's got a couple days to rest, but it'll be interesting to see how quickly he can get back on the court. The second question is are we going to be seeing a Gatorade bath here?
That is an excellent question. You know, it comes down to expectation setting.
I mean, it's the man's first win, is it not?
That is true. And for one of the
home court,
there's a nice and one by Chen. That's true. And he has been a coach with the team for many years.
I mean, who's the Dreamers captain?
Before the game, let's see who they checked on the.
Before the game.
Let's see who they checked on the clipboard. Getting the C today was Guan Liang.
Okay, now first year with the Dreamers, I wouldn't expect him to lead that. You got veterans on the team. You got Kenny, you got Doug, you got Derek. I mean, you've been with this man for. Kenny's been with him for what, 3-4 years. I think this man deserves a game.
Speaking of Wu Song Wei, he misses the first 3. He's out there along with Yang Seyan and Wang Seyan, so that's really an opportune time for all the Dreamers to get some run. Another turnover by the Lioneers in transition. Jason on the screen. Good passing 3. It's down.
That's good. Their 3-point percentage is getting a little bit lower than 50%. Able to pull it back above 50% with that make, I think.
Greg bringing in Song Yuxin. And interesting too, we've not seen Junior Hall hardly in the second half, if at all.
Well, that's kind of something that we've become accustomed to with the lineups that Coach Greg brings out there. We've said it before, the lineups in the first half and the second half are completely different. Again, someone like Oscar is due to injury. I'm not sure if that's an injury or a coaching decision.
Iboko tries to go with some mean attention, but overshoots the dunk. Derek all the way from his favorite left corner. That's got the crowd going as we are under 40 seconds. Another layup by Chen, and we have another possession left in the game.
You can see, first time head coach still out there calling plays. Up 24 with 17 seconds left. Maybe now calling off the troops, not wanting to get anybody upset.
The score table is forced to stop, but 123-99 is your final. as the Dreamers kind of end a little bit of a losing skid themselves. And they come home on the friendly confines of Taichung and get the W. And we heard from him pre-game, but I think he's really the man to hear from post-game. Eric Lai-Boling is headed to the Dreamers' corner. His first coaching victory in hand. He is not the interim coach. He is the head coach for the Dreamers.
And you can see the reaction from the management. Again, embraces, hugs, handshakes, fist bumps. Everybody obviously thrilled for Eric, even though he sprinted to the locker room, missing out on the most important thing today, Ryan.
Don't worry, they found him.
The team picture, okay, good.
Although I don't know why he's not in the middle there. He's got the basketball in between Jonathan and Lewis. There you see Carryman standing in the back. Of course, the Dreamers without Kenny Chen, and they're without Doug Creighton, who are very important forwards for the team that, especially in the third season, are kind of the important scorers for the Dreamers that they've kind of been missing out on.
Yeah, that shows a lot about this team. Again, it's really the tale of two halves, not just the first half today and the second half, but again, halves of the season. As we saw, as they closed out the first half, they were probably at the lowest of any lows, and now, as we could see from the dance moves after the game, they were at the highest of highs.
Now the other team trying to break their losing streak, are the Braves. 4 in a row, including last to the Lioneers, but we're catching up with Ryan Lu Guanliang post-game.
谢谢。我觉得现在各队都在针对阿吉的得分，就是限制他的得分。那势必我们球队就是必须要有人跳出来得分。那教练这边也给我一个很大的空间，让我去做场上我想做的事情。对。然后过年期间我们也是，教练这边也是有去做一些调整，就是我们进攻上的调整。就是我们上半季很容易就是大的激这样，就是年后过年这段期间我们就是有在做一些变化这样，对。
Ryan sharing that the other teams are going to defend Aji really hard, so somebody else needs to step up and score. And over the break, he reiterated the team has made adjustments and they want to avoid offensive stalls.
都变化很大。
And indeed, the mood has changed, quite simply. 士气. Now, asked about the new sensations and new experiences in the Plus League.
我觉得就是气氛吧，就是 SBL 的气氛比较没有像P 联盟的气氛这么好，对。
Admitting that the atmosphere in the Plus League is very, very
就是
strong.
非常谢谢球迷在我们5连败的时候还继续进场为我们加油，然后我们把这个胜利带给我们信任的总教练，对。
And wrapping up, thanking the fans for sticking with them through their losing streak and filling out Taichung Intercontinental Stadium. We got one more break before wrapping things up from Taichung. wrapping things up for the Dreamers' victory here in Game 49 on January 28th of 2023. Kind of don't want to admit it, but we've kind of been telling the audience what to expect in the post-game from the process of the game. There was the Oscar injury, and then there was the Dreamers' hot shooting in the game. But look at that, Coach. They have things to work on. Less than 50% three-point shooting for the home team.
That's unacceptable. I mean, 21 of 43 from the three-point line. I mean, like you said, new coach, always something to work on, always room for improvement. And tomorrow they got an opportunity to bring it back on the court again. But again, just thrilled for these guys who probably had a really tough Chinese New Year break as they were on a losing streak. They kind of washed all those sadness away in one game today, and right now they just have to continue tomorrow.
And certainly you'd expect more against the Lioneers, where, like you mentioned, the Pilots employ the strategy against every team, but all the other teams will start leaving the Lioneers shooters alone. So once again, the next game coming up is the Taishin Pilots against the Taipei Fulon Braves at Heping Gymnasium, to see if a winning streak will be concluded or if a losing streak will be continued for the Braves. And for tomorrow, we have the Kings coming into town and the Steelers, with still waiting on the arrival of one Jeremy Lin. They'll be taking on the Braves into a little bit of a different atmosphere to even their road games coming up. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, again, lots of games to look forward to, games that have a lot of impact on the standings. A lot of teams trying to get a new start. I think only the Pilots are trying to continue what they had going in the first half of last season.
As we continue our Lunar New Year celebrations, on behalf of Kyle and Eddie on the broadcast, the 6 teams in the league and the league operations, thanks, Coach, for joining our broadcast. I've been Ryan Chen. We'll see you in the next one.